What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back with
Guardsman.
as today we're ready to answer more bone-chilling questions in another episode of For the Greater. Yeah. Before you go on, where are the bones located again?
It depends. Mostly under the skin.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm. Unless you are a black dragon, then
they come out your skin.
Mm-hmm. People say that they might be a successor chapter of the salamanders. You know what? I don't think they are. But that's for a different video. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what good old George Montes did. He asks, or should I say Jorge Montes? That's probably George. What's a good starter set for a total beginner with no experience whatsoever? Keep up the great job.
I think we've kind of covered this a few times, and it changes slightly. But today, before you buy anything, if you're a total noob into 40K, I'd say the, what do you call it? Dark Imperium?
Yeah.
That is a good box set because it's got the rulebook in there. It's got models for two people to play, so that way you can get to know the game.
Yeah, even though by the time this goes out, it's only going to be like a week or two before.
9th edition.
Yeah, so wait until 9th edition comes out, and that set looks amazing. Necrons versus Primaris. The Primaris have models that I don't think I don't dislike any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Except maybe the chap. Is it the chaplain? Which one's the one with the flat sword?
Judicar.
Yeah, the Judicar's head looks goofy. But other than that, like...
It looks top of the line.
Cute face.
Slim waist. Big behind.
Yes. And then Necrons are good too.
Necrons, you get a bunch of Necrons. The only downside, well, I guess it wouldn't be a downside for you since you're new, is that they're pushed to fit models. So you don't have to worry about posing for that, because it's just you literally just click them in. I mean, I'd still recommend gluing them because maybe they'll fall apart. But yeah, it's easy to build, and there's new rules, so you don't have to get all these convoluted books and whatnot from previous editions to get all the rules for your army. It's all in that box set.
Yeah, always go for those types of, starter set boxes and all that kind of stuff. Once you start going into buying individual units, that's when it kind of gets really expensive.
Yeah.
For example, in the No Fear box set, it's only $80, and it comes with a bunch of stuff. To the point where what are the flying Primaris?
Interceptors? Intercessors?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So those guys are $50 by themselves. Or you could pay $80 and get an entire Primaris army and an entire Death Guard army. So that just goes to show you how much you save when you go with the starters. Always go with starters, and then kit bash if you really need to.
Right. Sell off the other half if you don't plan on using them. And once you actually figure out, like, okay, maybe Necrons and Space Marines aren't my thing, maybe I want to do, like, the Skitarii, the AdMech, then I'd say the next best thing is to go and start collecting boxes. Same reason as you said. It's more bang for your buck.
You always just get the HQ for free.
Yeah.
Also remember that if you see a box set come out and you're kind of on the edge, like you don't know if you should buy it or not, always buy it, because in 3 months GW might stop producing it, and then you have to go on eBay, and eBay usually tries to sell you the box that was originally like $120, now it's $300.
Right.
Which is how I feel with the Knights, the Chaos Knight box set.
Yeah, because you get really nice bits and stuff from it. So then you're like kind of forced to scour the interwebs for like separate sprues and stuff like that. So,
and then just let it sit in your closet if you don't want to like build it right away. And a year from now you can be like, oh yeah, I have those minis. You go back and boom.
Right.
Yeah. So starter sets all the way.
That's right.
Next question.
This one is by Pineapple. Characters most likely to get primarized or a big rule change. I'm going with Arjak, Dante, and Ulrich. So who do you think is going to be the characters that will become Primaris?
It's hard to say. The ones you mentioned are contenders.
Yeah, definitely. Dante, I mean, he's in charge of like Imperium. What is it? Secundus or Nihilus?
Nihilus, or yeah, something like that.
WAAAGH's another big one. Ulrich, yeah. I feel like
Dark Angels are probably going to get a Primaris.
they already did though.
Who did they get?
Lazarus. He was with the Ritual of the Damned.
I don't remember that.
No. It came out alongside the Thousand Sons and the Grey Knights. He's the only one that got a model though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like what we know that is coming up in the near future is just Ultramarines.
Mm-hmm.
After the Ultramarines, what kind of other?
Sicarius.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure was it Tigurius, the librarian dude?
He got a model?
Or
I thought it was just a generic librarian.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Because I know for sure Calgar did.
Yeah.
Because he died and then he came back to life.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you're any named character, I'm gonna assume you're gonna get the Primaris treatment.
I wish GW would just let us know which units are being purchased the most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know which ones they are, right? It's Primaris and Space Marines, but what specific named characters are being purchased the most? Because then we can tell.
Right, because it's like, oh, I just bought my Mephiston model, and then the week later, you now have to buy a new Primaris Mephiston model.
No, they say you don't have to.
Right, but it's like, if I'm trying to play a narrative campaign, it's not gonna be right if I got regular Mephiston.
Just like you don't have to play Primaris, you can still keep playing your old, pointless, old Marines that we're never going to update, never throw out new content for.
Right. But they're not being phased out or anything.
Yeah, of course not.
Brian B. It seems like you never clean your carpet. When's the last time you did?
Yeah, so I don't ever clean carpets. So this is where I do my building, painting, and all that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of bits that fall, and then I can't get them because my carpet here is kind of tall. I'm not going to vacuum here ever because of that reason.
Right, you're going to have like skulls and like
hands, weapons, stuff like that. Also, my when I use X-Acto blades, sometimes they break. So there's little shards of blades. Sorry that you're wearing socks.
It's all right. When I go home, it's like I got to shake off. Sometimes I get like cool bits.
Sometimes it's
Sometimes I've got I got to put penicillin in my feet.
Yeah. But I think as war gamers, especially us, we've been doing this since we were kids. Like our fingers are
callousized.
Yeah, so we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But not our toes, I guess. We need to start building more with our toes.
That's true. We need to start playing guitars with toes.
Guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one's by Tamble Track. As more and more Primarchs return, would they attempt to reunite their legions?
Yes.
Really? You think so? They'll be like, Gilliman, it wasn't a good idea to become Codex compliant. Let's just do it again and get legion sized.
Yeah, because that's like the growing meme on Instagram. It's like Gilliman saying, you could only have 1,000 Space Marines in your chapter. Meanwhile, Ultramar is all mine. They're going to catch on, and they're going to be like, no, forget you. Mm-hmm. We're doing what the Black Templars are doing.
Just a big old crusade throughout the whole galaxy.
Yep. Next question comes from Careless Giver 9568. When Dreadnoughts Before Heresy be released, why won't they say that the Imperium has fallen or wasn't what it used to be?
Because they're not really seeing the Imperium as a whole. Usually Dreadnoughts are asleep or put in stasis until they're needed on the battlefield, or in the case of the Space Wolves, until it's story time.
Yeah, it comes out once a year.
Mm-hmm. Once a midwinter night, when the moon is high in the sky and the songs are ripe for singing.
Yes. Where's that from?
I just made it up right now.
Oh, that's pretty good. You should write a story.
I'll think about it.
But yeah, so what you mean by that too, just for everybody who's listening, is like, what? So there are dreadnoughts that have been around since the Horus Heresy time. So why wouldn't those dreadnoughts come out and be like, hey, the God Emperor or the Emperor didn't want you to worship him as a god and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. You also have to keep in mind that those guys are a little
they're going
in
crazy.
The main brain.
Yeah, insane in the brain.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's like all these stories that they're telling. It's like should we even believe them, or are they just like telling tall tales?
Like, okay, Boomer.
Yeah, right.
We just want you to go attack.
Yeah.
This is your chance to shine. You've been showing your NRA badge forever. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This one's by Bruce Young. Have y'all moved closer to the camera? No, the camera's moved closer to us.
Yeah. Next question comes from PB Unit. Do any gene seeds have an unknown flaw or no flaw at all?
Well, I mean, rumor has it that the Ultramarine is, like, pristine.
Yeah, that's true. Ultramarine is the thing that's the closest. Because even when you look at things or Primarchs that shouldn't have a flaw, like Dorn has, like, this...
Is it that pain thing?
Yeah, well, like, sacrifice. Extreme... Like, they are stubbornly...
Sacrificial.
Yeah, basically. So they want to be the last man standing, or they want to die and having in like some type of last stand or something.
Yeah, and there's others that like, I guess it is a deficiency, but it doesn't really like hinder them in any way. And yeah, I guess sometimes it takes a psychic backlash to actually make these impurities come out.
Yeah, like for the Raven Guard, their whole thing is like they have pale skin, but it's like, okay,
yeah,
so do I. Am I a Space Marine now?
This one is by All Might. So Space Marine's spit is acid. How many licks would it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out.
A 1, a 2, a 3, crunch.
Yeah. So probably 3. Because that's what the owl said. Yeah. Mr. Owl.
It'd be hilarious to see a Space Marine drawn in that style.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys don't even know what we're talking about.
It's a pretty old commercial, and from our analytics, we know that the majority of our viewers are between the ages of 25 and 35.
So I guess you would know.
And we're all losers. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. We just have a lot of pent-up aggression towards our childhood. Next question comes from Dan D16. Which Space Marine chapter is physically the strongest? Salamanders.
Yeah, they're usually bigger, bulkier,
better,
thicker.
Mm-hmm. And part of the reason is because of the stock that they come from. They come from the people of
Nocturne.
Yep. And they're like a volcanic world where only the toughest of the tough survive, and there's giant lizards that hunt them. So
not dragons, salamanders.
Exactly. That can fly. No, I don't know if they can fly. They probably can't. Next question.
This one's by Leprechaun. Hey, Bridget B family. With the return of the Silent King, that's funny, and the never-ending rumors of a returning Primarch, do you think that it is a possibility that it could be Lionel Johnson who returns, and him possibly taking a leaf out of Gilliman's book to very temporarily unite, fighting off chaos or maybe fighting off a hive fleet? We already know that he fields Necrons and DAOT, Dark Angels, I don't know, technology quite regularly with his legions, and that the Dark Angels have kept up the tradition. Cheers. I haven't seen Ants Canada in a long time.
Yeah, because it's not even the same anymore. Before, it used to just be like, oh, he has 2 ant colonies, 3 ant colonies. Now he has like birds and tarantulas. Yeah. It's like, oh, damn. It's a whole zoo now.
He's got a Quetzalcoatl in there.
Yep. But what was his question?
Do you think that the Dark Angels will be coming back and allying with the Necrons to take on like Chaos and the Tyranids?
Definitely not allying with the Necrons, no. But would they come back? Probably.
I mean, how long has the rumors have been that Lion was coming back? I think those rumors were there because he did come back, but in the Heresy.
Yeah. We
got a new sculpt for him, and as far as I know, like gameplay-wise, the dude's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
do we have a Sanguinius model for the Horus Heresy?
Yeah.
Oh, so then the next Primarch, I bet, is going to be Sanguinius. The next 40K Primarch.
We'll see. GW has proved us wrong every single time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Don't trust anything we say. This question comes from Benjamin Manning. Is 40K Abaddon stronger than Horus at the height of the Heresy? No. Not a chance. It's a Primarch versus a regular Space Marine.
Right. I mean, for some reason, like, the books and, like, overall the lore pits Guilliman versus Abaddon, who would win? But it's like, Gilliman's a freaking Primarch. Abaddon's just a regular dude. I mean, yeah, he's empowered by chaos, but he's just a regular Space Marine.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to put that narrative together because of the weapons that they wield. He's got Dracnian, which is an unkillable sword, and Gilliman's got the Emperor's flaming sword.
Yeah. Next question comes from Bluebird810. Am I Alfarius?
I mean,
Yeah.
This one's by Hedir Rosdim. What happens to a guardsman if he or she successfully kills a demon prince? The chances are slim to none, but they'll probably get promoted. I doubt they'll be able to retire because it's like, oh, you did such a great job. Do it again until you die.
You can create a story like that. It would be cool to do a fan fiction where like an Imperial Guardsman becomes a general because he killed a demon prince. But more than likely, that same Imperial Guardsman is just gonna be like killed as a heretic because like, wait, how did you do it?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that you could have done that type of situation.
Or it'd be funny where it's like a thing where it's like the guardsman just like shoots blindly and it turns out there's a gray knight that like blew up a demon's head and he takes the credit for it.
Yeah. Next one. This one's by Owen Sickle. How are demon engines created?
You loop-de-loop and you pull.
But you have to do it in the Hellforge, which is a special forge found within the warp.
That is neither allied to any of the Chaos Gods. They're their own thing.
Yep. And what happens is like the demons fight right outside the forge to see who's going to be chosen to enter the body of this
machine.
Yeah. So that's what demon engines are. It's half demon, half machine, and they're aligned to the Hellforge.
So like if Nurgle starts attacking a Hellforged, even if you are a demon engine of Nurgle, you still got to defend the Hellforged, because even though you are, Nurgle with Nurgle bros, your allegiance lies to the Forge.
For sure.
This one's by Magic Eye. I don't know if any of the lore supports this, but what if the Chaos Gods are actually the good guys and the Emperor is evil? The Chaos Gods are actually the gods of the following: Khorne being the god of protection and strength, Nurgle the god of healing, Slaanesh the god or goddess of art and creativity, and Tzeentch the god of knowledge. But in order for the Imperium to control its people, they say that chaos is bad, but in actuality, the Chaos Gods are trying to free the people from the Imperium. Could this be possible? What are your thoughts?
I have to say no just because of demon incursions.
Yeah.
Like, if it was true, then why are bloodletters trying to, like, decapitate humans? Why is Slaanesh trying to mute entire worlds? Yeah.
It could just be that everything's being told in the perspective of humanity, and that's just the way that humanity sees these weird amalgamations of the warp. Because they said that the warp is something that humans can't really comprehend.
Yeah.
Most people, if they go into the warp, it's just too much and they go crazy. As can be seen with the Tau when they went into the Star-Tide Nexus. But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but the way that the lore's been written, and from all these instances that we've been seeing, no, it's quite the contrary.
Right. Next question comes from Christopher Miller. Question. Who do you think would win in a war, the Stormcast Eternals or Primaris Marines? Pros and cons of each army while fighting each other.
So, Stormcast Eternals are pretty much just regular humans that have been handpicked by Sigmar, given these little special powers, and are forced to fight for him. Space Marines, I say, would be more on the same level field as... Well, not even that, because they're regular humans. Space Marines are transhumans, and then Primaris are like a level above that.
Yep.
So, Primaris.
Yeah, me too. Guns versus magic, but then you remember, wait, don't Primaris have magic? Yep, they have librarians. So it's like...
I thought you were going to say like guns against bow and arrows.
See, same situation.
Yeah.
Who wins? The person with the lightning.
They all have lightning. Andrew Krostick. Is Magnus as strong as a Lord of Change? Way stronger. Yeah.
Maybe not on the tabletop, but yeah.
Yeah. Lore-wise, he's like second strongest thing in the universe.
Yeah. Next question comes from Ty Shingleton. Has the Alpha Legion ever infiltrated the Imperial Palace or impersonated as a custodian or something? Never impersonated as a custodian, but yes, they have infiltrated in the Imperial Palace. There are even rumors that that's what they're doing right now. That's how they were able to pass all of the different barriers during the siege on Terra during the Horus Heresy. So yes, they have been infiltrating the Imperial Palace for quite some time. As pilgrims, not as custodians, but like as maintenance workers, not custodians.
Right.
Yeah.
Not custodians.
Custodians.
Or not custodies, custodians.
There you go.
This one's by Colonel Kablooey. How do orcs communicate on the battlefield? Do they use messenger squids? Or is it more just like follow everyone else and see what happens?
Yep, might makes right. So if the biggest orc says, go attack this, those orcs are going to go attack it.
And if there is no biggest orc, then they fight until there is a biggest orc.
Then he decides, we're going to attack this. Part of the reason why the orcs are just so savage. And then, those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for asking. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next time.
This is the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out of here.
Always used to put my freedom first.